And here we are, our final big story for the day, and it has to do with, well, maybe the biggest of them all, the Black Stars of Ghana. And no matter how things have gone, we still love the green, gold, red, and black star. We can't do without them. They are going to face off in their first match today, the Atlas Lions. That is quite a hurdle. Well, we have the discussion, and joining me in studio, we have Muftau. Yeah. But don't you forget, we're also going to have some others joining the conversation. Yeah. We'll have George Addo Jr. As well as Gary Al Smith. And maybe
Gary's
just someone else.
Gary's already
Hello, Gary. Hello. I like your excitement. I like your excitement. You're pretty excited.
You know one thing.
Can you see us already?
The only thing he doesn't have is the ping pong that we always see in town. Ping pong.
Okay. So Gary has joined the conversation. Thank you very much. But let's quickly start with you. We have come to a crucial point.
Yes.
And the president has charged the team to go out there and bring the trophy. Ghanaians are saying you may not be in the best of shape, but it's still possible. Yeah. Is it possible?
It is possible. Ghanaians are not quite optimistic about the chances of the team because of how perpetually they've bottled opportunities that have come their way in the African Cup of Nations. Close as they've come, close they've missed. And the disappointment, when it is repeated countless times, you always have to get to that point where you give up. But I think that it is not beyond the doing of the Black Stars to surprise everyone, as Miller himself has put it.
Was it 2006 when we hosted?
2008.
2008.
Yeah.
And we couldn't.
We couldn't.
In
Cameroon. Okay. Gave it to us in the semi-final. Right. That was a needle.
And that has been the script, quarter-final, semi-final, even final. And we are not able to make it.
Even until 2019, where we exited at around the 16th stage, we've always made it to the semi-final.
What do you feel? What do you feel? Some people have said in the past, we have problems when it comes to taking penalties. Yeah. And sometimes when we get to those levels and penalties, we are often the team that is being, sent packing, sent home. Some have spoken about the technical abilities of some of our players. Yeah. Some have spoken about the fact that sometimes we are too reliant on foreign-based, internationals, the ones we call the internationals and all of that. And we leave the local squads here, and then we go crying that the international, when they don't want to come home and all of that. Where would you place all of it? Some even say it's money. Where would you place it?
You see, Ben, this conversation is beyond anyone in the country, not even the president. Because
and by president, do you mean the nation's president?
The nation's president. No, the nation's president.
Okay.
Because the point is that the exodus of players to the European market began in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
Players are professionals. You cannot stop a player from moving on to play for any club he wants to, no matter where the player.
It's in his interest. I mean,
it is in the interest of players,
and finances.
Everything.
Right.
So since the exodus of players in the 1990s, we've always found it very difficult to build a domestic competition that is so competitive and can put together the best 11 that will go out there and fight for the country. The last time we actually had a locally assembled team that was able to stand up against one of the best in the continent was in 2001. Yeah. The late
when Hearts of Oak basically
was Jones Atukwefu assembled a Hearts of Oak team that came up against Nigeria and got a draw. Since then, we've always struggled to put together a team. These players will always go out there. The more they go out there, the more others see the greener pastures, how they're able to come back with the big cars and bold mansions, and wants to go out there. We cannot control. No one can control that. The best we can do is to assemble our players as early as we want, if we want to do that.
Right.
Egypt always does that. They're able to assemble
in fact, the North Africans, not just Egypt.
They're always able to assemble local players, come down for months, so that the foreign-based players will just come and join them for the competition. Ghana wouldn't do that. You and I will question how much government is spending on the national team.
Right.
And if we continue to raise questions about how much we are investing without looking at the end result that we are looking for, we'll always be back here and talk about our failures.
And in fact, our local league is still being played while we are participating in AFCON.
Yes.
That tells you about how tricky the situation is.
Well, that one, it has to do with the calendar. It's a calendar issue. We cannot control that one because we're supposed to actually sync our calendar with that of CAF in 2019, but we missed out due to number 12 and all that. So it's a calendar issue, but it has to be worked out.
We've been considered or rated underdogs, and mind you, we are in a group with Comoros, the Comoros Islands. We are in a group with Gabon. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's Gabon. He may not be doing so well at Arsenal in recent times. He's been stripped of his captaincy, but he always is a threat. We also have the Atlas Lions of Morocco in there. This tag of being underdogs, is it a good thing or a bad thing for us?
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing in the sense that it takes away the pressure on the boys. It's a good thing in the sense that the boys feel that when they go out there, they have nothing to lose. Because people already say...
I guess we don't feel like the Guineans who's...
But the point is that when often you are tagged as the underdog, that is when you give off your best. That's when you want to go out there and prove everyone wrong.
Right.
So I think that it's a plus so that it takes away the pressure. But inbuilt in the boys, they will have that desire to go out there and prove the rest of the continent and even Ghanaians wrong. So it's a good thing for me.
Okay. Later on, when we connect with some of our other speakers, we will get into the bit about the teams, the squads, and the bit about the late arrivals of some people and what exactly to expect from there. Yeah. But maybe just before I connect with some of them, the Atlas Lions. Yes. Looking at our group, I mean, I would, if I had to rate, I would put the Atlas Lions up there. Yes. There's also Gabon. Gabon and Ghana are sort of on...
Why are you putting the Atlas Lions up there?
I am looking at the FIFA rankings. I am looking at, all of those factors.
I get you, Ben.
I'm looking at the FIFA rankings.
Let's not forget.
I'm looking at the recent, what would you even...
The final match you played against...
Not even that. I'm talking about the record that these teams
recent performance
have. Recent performance, that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So you look at Morocco, I would put them up there. Yeah. Gabon and Ghana in there. And then the Comoros, the last team. But there's, and I'll pose a question on that. You can't take any team for granted. Once they've qualified, look at what Cape Verde did to Ethiopia yesterday.
Cape Verde has
a 10-man Ethiopia team. Yeah. But it means you can't take anything for granted. So do you feel our toughest test in this group is going to be Morocco? And if we get past this hurdle with maybe even a draw, it would bode well for us. Because two teams qualify, right?
A draw is still incomplete, though I think that if the team is going to even pick 4 points, they can still progress to the next stage of the competition because the third best placed team can still qualify to the next phase. But what is crucial for me is for us to look beyond the name Morocco and look at the players. I remember the 2008 African Cup of Nations, when they came to Ghana, many of them expected them to be that team that was going to rise against Ghana. Yeah. Unfortunately, it never worked out.
It was underwhelming.
It was underwhelming for them.
Right.
Well, they have built themselves recently, when they appointed Hervé Renard. He took them to the African Cup. He took them to the World Cup. Under Valihovic, they've been incredible as well. They've beaten Ghana in a friendly match when our Black Stars were still under the management of CK Akono. But I'm looking at a Morocco side that is not too exceptional as people want it to look. I'm looking at a Morocco team, though they have a certain chemistry in their play.
Right.
If you look at our Black Stars is a team that is also quite strong. You're talking about young players that many people have not seen them in a tournament situation.
So experience will count here.
Experience is likely to count.
We also have an experienced player.
Yeah, we have experience.
Every team is going to suffer it.
Jonathan Mensah has been at the AFCON since 2010, if my memory serves me right. Andre Ayew has always been ever present. The only AFCON he missed was the 2013 one. Jordan Ayew has ever been present. The last AFCON he missed was the 2013 one. So Thomas Partey played the 2017 African Cup, 2019 African Cup. Right. So these are players with experience. Baba Rahman played the 2017 tournament. The experience, Thomas Partey too was there, 2015, 2017. The experience is going to count. It is the experience that will help them guide the young players who are in the team and tell them that in tournament situations, this is how we play. And you look at Morocco and expect them to come and present the biggest threat because of the quality of football they play.
Right.
But if you take a look at Milovan Rivals teams, they've always been so disciplined. very solid at the back. They don't give away so many opportunities. People will look at the final match the Black Stars played against Algeria and be wondering whether this was actually a Milo team that was playing because they conceded 3 goals.
But we have to look at the players.
But we have to look at the players who were selected. If you take a look at our back line, I think it was a very good back line with Daniel Amate, Jonathan Mensah, Alexander Djiku, and then Gideon Mensah. It was a very good back line.
Right.
But the point I'm making here is that in a tournament situation where the concentration is beyond 99%, you just need to give that 1% chance of anything can happen in the game of football. That 99% chance shows that the team will be very difficult for any opposition to break down. If you can't break down, you can't penetrate, you can't score. And Miller will organize the team knowing very well that if I don't score, I will not be scored.
Right.
And that is the optimism I have about this team going into this very tournament. And you talked about Gabon. Yes, Gabon is an opposition that we are very familiar with. It's an opposition that...
They've dealt us some blows in the past.
They have done that in the past, but I'm not sure this is a tournament that they're going to do that to us. Then we come to Comoros. Comoros, they've improved massively. The last time we played them was 2015 when we were playing for the playoffs for the FIFA World Cup. And then the away game, Ghana drew 0-0. Yeah. Ghana came here and beat them 2-0. I remember a free kick from Mubarak Wakaso and Jordan Ayew scored that second goal for the Black Stars before we qualified to the next phase of the qualification stage. They have improved, no doubt about that. But against a country like Ghana, they'll be very cautious.
All right. So let's quickly do this. Let's go via Zoom as well and have some interactions. George Addo Jr. Is also standing by. George, I know you've been at the training grounds, right? What can you tell us about the team, the atmosphere, the body language so far? What can you share with us thus far, George? Do we have George with us? Let me try Gary then. I don't know whether you also have a fair, or you've had a fair view of the team so far, but from what you've seen from Milovan Rajvac's interactions with the press and all of that, what do you make of the team that we're presenting going into today's crucial match with the Atlas Lions?
And I'm sure Muftal has the predicted lineups that we put up, so we may go into it as both of you made, particularly about the overview of the group. Gabon are not the Gabon when they hosted and all that. They've been decimated, and Aubameyang of Arsenal, unfortunately, is the Aubameyang of Gabon. Now, 2 things have happened between the time that he left the Arsenal camp disgraced. He has been stripped of the captaincy of Arsenal because of persistent indiscipline, lateness to camp and all.
Right.
And everybody thought that Aubameyang would take this opportunity to go to Gabon, his national team, prove everybody wrong, and perhaps use a good African Cup of Nations to attract the interest of, because the transfer window is open.
Right.
So traditionally, if you do well between now and the end of January, it's like a shop window. You're asking people to come and buy you. If you do well, you put yourself out there to suitors, and then probably Aubameyang, or so we thought, will be bossed by another team and everybody will be happy. So Aubameyang goes to camp for the Gabonese camp in Dubai. They are there. They're about to finish their camp. They don't see Aubameyang in his room. Where's Aubameyang? He and Mario Lemina, the 2 top players in the team, they went out to party. Not just that, when they came back with COVID-19. So as at a couple of days ago, Aubameyang and Mario Lemina had contracted the condition and they are isolating. So I don't know how they can rely on those 2. But the thing, and you see, it's not like, COVID, the recent iteration of COVID, especially for those who are vaccinated, is that it spreads quickly, but it doesn't affect you like it would have if you were not vaccinated, the Omicron virus.
Right.
So he's not showing, he's asymptomatic, he's not showing any symptoms. He's very fine, even though he's positive, which means then that he can come back negative and then immediately slot into the team. But the way it bothers Gabon is that it has obviously affected their preparation, because as the player, as the star player and the captain of the side, you'd want him involved, in preparing the team and all that. So I don't know what's mentally happening to Aubameyang, but yeah, that's the situation with him. With the other teams in the group, I mean, it's all up there. The biggest opposition for Ghana on paper is the team that we are facing today. And ahead of the match, Milovan Rahivat said a couple of interesting things. Milo knows that many of us, including those in the studio and myself, don't have as much hope as we had in the team probably in 2010. And he said, nobody rates the Black Stars, nobody believes in us, and that's why we are here to prove them wrong. So hopefully that is what they are going to do. Andrea Ayew also says that, guess what, Benjamin, 50% of the team Ghana is presenting at the AFCON have never played at an AFCON before. 50%. That is not good, because it means that per the law of averages and percentages, you are likely going to present a team of newbies on the field of play against Morocco. Yeah. However, that may be a disadvantage, but that can be an advantage too, because it means then that the opposition will not have a lot of material to look at, in order to prepare for you, which means that you can spring a surprise or two. And that is what we are told Milo is doing. This is the first time in a very long time that I have seen a Black Stars team going into the first game of an AFCON, Benjamin, that we cannot predict the starting lineup. Indeed, there are up to 3 different starting lineups that we know can happen in today's game.
Okay. So that itself is a cause for concern. But just hold your horses, Gary. Let's also interact with former Ghana international Yao Preko, who also joins the conversation. Mr. Preko, a very good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
Great. So let's just dissect it. Let's hit the nail on the head. And Gary just set the tone. This is the first time that we're having a squad, at least in a long while, where you can name about 3 starting teams. What do you make of the current squad that we are sending into AFCON 2021?
I think they are the ones that we have at the moment. And I can't see any surprises in the team. I think basically what we've seen from the qualifier, except I think Kudus, who is not fit. The rest, I think everybody is in camp. Hopefully, they will be fit to give us a good show this afternoon.
In our group, it's pretty tough. We have the Atlas Lions, we have Gabon and Comoros. People are thinking they are going to be the whipping boys, but who knows? I mean, football is a game of skill and chance. How many points do you think we can take from this group? I mean, I'm putting it to you. You've been there, you've done that. Do you think we can take points away from Morocco? Can we draw? Can we beat them? Gabon is also there with their own issues.
When it comes to tournament, it's full of surprises. You just have to be very, very careful. You don't have to go in and be thinking I'm African best, or we have what it takes to qualify to the next stage. You need to take it game after game, minute after minute. And then you see how it goes, because there are clubs, they find it difficult to qualify for a tournament. But when they are in the tournament and they are underdogs, they can surprise you. So the Gabons and the Comoros, yeah. We shouldn't underrate them. But the first, we have to think about this game against Morocco. And then we think about the other 2 games, because this is a tournament, like I said earlier, it's going to be very, very, very difficult, full of surprises, and we need to just take it game after game. So first of all, we have to think about Morocco, and then we see about the other games.
Yeah, Preko, my colleague in the studio, Muftar, has a question for you. But before we get into that, so what's your prediction, very quickly, ahead of today's match? Morocco-Ghana, what's the scoreline for you?
I see Ghana winning.
Ghana winning by what margin?
A slim margin.
2-1, 1-0.
But I think I can see we have a go in this game.
All
If we're able to score one, Milo and his one-goal project will protect it. But I see Ghana winning or a draw. I don't see us losing.
Okay.
So they're already afraid of us.
Okay, so Yapreko, if you see Ghana winning, what would it take Ghana to get that win?
We just have to play with confidence. Look, everybody knows we are struggling when it comes to Cup of Nations. We are struggling to show our capabilities. And definitely everybody will tip Morocco to win. But we have what it takes. We have what it takes. Our boys, I strongly believe if they come to the party, the Moroccans will struggle. I remember when we played against under City Econos region, we played against Morocco. It was one of our best games.
Right.
It was one of our best games, and I enjoyed the game, both halves. I really enjoyed the game. And if the boys are able to play tactically very disciplined as they played against the Moroccans in the friendly match, so I am very, very hopeful we'll come out with something good today.
Yapreko, thank you so much for joining us with those thoughts there. Let's take a quick one from George Addo Jr., who also is with us. You've seen the team. You've been with them. What can you share about the team's body language? Very quickly, George.
Well, I think that they're very focused. They understand the job at hand. They know they are not favorites. They know they have to prove the world wrong. They know they have to go on the pitch and get the job done. And it was succinct from Coach Milovan Rajevac at the press conference. He did indicate that they are here to come and do a job. They don't need to start the competition as favorites. They don't need the tag. They are only just coming in to surprise everybody. Andrea Yu, the captain of the side, also indicated that they have been unlucky on a couple of occasions so far as winning the Africa Cup of Nations is concerned. So they know that they have to go out there and put in the hard work and get the results.
Okay.
So they've
been... Go ahead, Gary. George.
No, yeah, I was saying that, yes, I've spoken to some Moroccan journalists as well who've told me we go on about a 40-year wait for an Africa Cup of Nations trophy. They are doing 46 years at the moment. The last time they won it was in 1976.
Okay, so
and so they are even hungrier to try.
All right. Some want it more than others. 46 versus 40. So I'm going to do this to wrap the conversation. Your quick prediction, George Addo Jr. What's your prediction? Each one of you, you, Gary, and then we wrap the conversation. What's your prediction?
I hope the Black Stars win this game. I'll take
Is
a
it
draw.
hope or you are predicting?
All right. Gary, what's yours? Very quickly.
1-0 to the Black Stars.
1-0 to the Black Stars, and you have said that they'll win, but you don't know by what margin.
I don't know by what margin, but they will win.
Our prayers are with the Ghana Black Stars. We wish them the very best as they lock horns with the Atlas Lions of Morocco today.